Welcome to the episode 109 of the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Lolita. Okay, we continue conversations about how multiple different things can be very stressful in your relationships. And it could be, intimate relationships, friendships, business partnerships, all kinds of relationships. So, specifically, what I want to talk about today is about stress that comes from previous relationships that have not conclude that have not resolved fully. And, it comes to my mind plenty of movies that show crazy exes, going after the main character. Well, it could be very stressful. Um, First of all, because if you're in a relationship and there is some unsolved trauma, drama, something going on in the your or the other person life, that is just something this entity keeps on going without really having a conclusion and being solved. And so it keeps on sucking the energy out. So there's this something always behind your back that, well, they're still there, they're still not, and it could be those kind of relationships. Um, let's say you had a fight with someone, a conflict, and you just didn't have a closure. You didn't come to conclusion. You didn't have the clarity. You didn't talk about why things unfolded a particular way. So you're not talking with that person anymore. But it feels like it still needs to be kind of tied down and finished up, and the circle should be closed. Also, it can be very stressful if, let's say, your partner could be even a business partner. Let's say they had a business deal in the past that ended up not that good. And now it's just like they're haunting down these experiences because now they really think that you can be the same partner as the previous one. Um, and a lot of stress can be in a relationship when the other person doesn't even tell you about that there is somebody else, or it was somebody else, and that is still occupying their mind. Or maybe they'll show up one day and, just walking up somewhere in the restaurant, and you're like, oh, who's that? And they're like, oh, nothing. Forget about it. Like they don't want to have this conflict with you because they don't want to upset you, but you can tell that there is something going on. That can be very, very stressful. Well, because why? When we come into relationships, any sort of partnership, it is extremely important for us to have loyalty to each other, to the whole entity, but also feel safe. If there's some information is not being communicated to you, you may not really trust the other person. So when you you have lack of trust with someone, then you can start building a resentment, and that's never good enough for any relationship. So how is it you solve that? Yes, by communication. You need to really um, have enough courage to come forward and say, hey, listen, well, I don't know what that person, can you tell me about it? Or I see there is something still going on with that other person. Or maybe even they told you, let's say it's a business partner, and then you know that the case is still not closed because there's some feelings lingering. Then invite your partner to say, you know what, maybe we need to talk about that. Maybe we can solve it. Maybe you can write that person a letter. Maybe you can have a phone call conversation with them and just kind of close the cycle. So there will be less of stress for everyone, less resentment, and it's more trust, and relationships just get better because you are there for each other. It could be very different if, let's say, you, the person who actually has some stress going on because of your ex. And, there's so many couples that struggle with that because if you have kids that you share with your ex, they like don't go nowhere. Like you have kids, they will be always participating in those kids' lives. So it's not like you just say, okay, we just have a conversation and we're done. Okay, bye, and you hang up. No, you will probably see them more often than you even want to see them. So of course, it's a good idea to talk about that too. So you can ask professional help and go to counselor, and especially if that is the mommy daddy of your ex who is still in your kids' lives, because you don't want to ruin that relationship with your kids as well, and also with your current partner. So being open, clear, and having enough courage to tell your other half and say, look, this is my past and I still need to work on it, but I will really will appreciate if you will help me with this. You see, there's so much of stress and resentment happens when the other person doesn't even know where is that you are with the relationship with your ex, whatever happened. When you invite your current partner into the whole thing and you say, this is what I need from you, this is what support I need from you. Not that you just open up and you show that the person that, hey, you are very honest, you are very loyal, and you don't want to mess this up. And you want also give them opportunity to support you. Because when you really truly care for somebody, you want to support them in whatever that is. But you have to be very clear in communicating what is that you need. The worst thing is that when you're just running away from the problem, you're thinking, well, I hope they're just not going to show up today. I hope they're not going to show up this weekend. Even if you have that kind of fear, it's a very good idea to tell your partner, even business partner, say, there is some business deal that happened before and that is still not giving me peace. This is what I need from you. The more you ask for help from people around you, especially those who care for you, the easier it will get. Because trust me, you're not alone. It may look like that. And if you grew up in an environment where you've been told that you have to be independent and don't be weak and you have to solve all the issues by yourself, it can be very, very hard. But that's not how it is. We are herd animals, as I continue saying, and we need other people. But also, the other people need you too. So when you deprive them of helping you, you are excluding them from the group. You're excluding from your unit. And they may feel bad because they not be given an opportunity even to help you and support you the way you needed to. Something to think about, isn't it? So if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to my channel. And I would like to hear in the comments if there is did you ever have a situation in your life that you dealt with ex-partner, ex-business partner, whatever, and you found that came a great solution how you managed the constant situation and everything's so much better. I would love you to share it in comments so others who listening in can share from your experience and learn something and get more inspired. I hope you liked the video. And we'll be talking more about how to manage different stresses in relationships in the upcoming episodes as well. I think we still have few on my list that are left.